Part 7. Strength in the Shadow of Eternity. Nietzsche's most enigmatic and haunting concept is the eternal recurrence, the idea that every moment, every breath, every joy and agony in your life must be lived again eternally. No escape, no edits, no forgetting. He poses it first as a question in The Gay Science. What if a demon crept after you into your loneliest loneliness some day or night and said to you, "This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more"? Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon who spoke thus? And then, he asks, or have you once experienced a tremendous moment when you would have answered him, "You are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine"? It is here that Nietzsche's aphorism about strength takes on its most harrowing weight. What if the suffering that nearly broke you must return? What if you must relive your losses, your griefs, your betrayals, not once, but infinitely? Would you still say it made you stronger? Would you still say it was worth it? The willing of one's fate. Nietzsche calls the acceptance of this recurrence amor fati, the love of one's fate. To not merely bear life, but to embrace it in its totality. Not just the light, but the darkness. Not just the joy, but the horror. Not just the triumph, but the ruin. This is the ultimate test of strength. Not the strength to endure, but the strength to affirm, to look your life in the face and say, "I would live you again." Not because it was easy, but because it was mine. Because I met it with my full being. Because I became who I am through it. Nietzsche's existential alchemy. Eternal recurrence is not a cosmology. It is not a literal belief in cyclical time. It is an existential test, a thought experiment. It asks you to weigh your life, not against the judgments of others, but against the scale of eternity. It asks, if you had to live this again, would you curse it, or would you dance? This is not abstract, it is intimate. It turns every moment sacred, every choice eternal. It is a demand that we become so attuned to our life, so integrated with our suffering, that even our darkest nights would be welcomed again, because they are part of the form, the melody, the art of our existence. And this is what it means to be made stronger, not to become immune to pain, but to integrate it so deeply that you would choose it again. Death as gateway to life. To affirm eternal recurrence is to stare directly into the meaning of death and say, "I do not need death to escape my suffering. I need death only to sanctify my life, because only in the face of death does life burn bright enough to be affirmed." Nietzsche writes, "The greatest weight, is it not terrible to crush you? Or do you not want to be crushed under it? You say yes to one moment, you say yes to all." This is the moment of decision. Do you seek strength only to avoid pain? Or do you seek strength so that you can say yes, even to pain? Because if strength is merely avoidance, it is cowardice in disguise. But if strength is acceptance, radical, unflinching, wholehearted acceptance, then it becomes sacred. Then it becomes worthy of eternity, becoming the flame. Nietzsche once said, One must still have chaos in oneself to give birth to a dancing star. But a star is not born by accident. It is forged in pressure, in gravity, in fire. To live as though you would live your life again, infinitely, is to become a flame. It is to allow yourself to burn away the false, the shallow, the borrowed meanings. It is to live as if every act matters. Because under eternal recurrence, it does. If you betray yourself now, you will betray yourself forever. If you shrink from the suffering now, you will shrink from it eternally. But if you rise, if you transfigure pain into power, then that too is eternal. Then you have become what Nietzsche calls a destiny. To affirm is to be free. The irony is that by imagining ourselves trapped in infinite recurrence, Nietzsche frees us. Because in that moment we realize, I cannot control what happens, but I can control how I meet it. And if I meet it fully, without bitterness, without regret, without illusion, then I have already won. I have said yes to life, not the life I wanted, not the life I planned, but the life I have, and the self I become within it. Strength beyond the grave. This aphorism, "What does not kill me makes me stronger," rings most truly when placed in the shadow of death. Not because it defies death, but because it honors it. Every pain that did not destroy us became part of our becoming. Every moment we thought we could not survive, but did, etched something eternal into our being. And if we live as though we must live it again, then we are forced to make it meaningful. We are forced to become, and in that becoming, we realize it is not death that makes us afraid. It is unlived life. It is strength unclaimed. It is pain endured without transformation. Nietzsche challenges us to make our life so deep, so powerful, so ours, that even eternal return cannot diminish it, that even death cannot undo it.